Welcome to Rom Wills Money Matters. You want your money to make money. And it's a very simple principle because one thing with the rich and the wealthy, and yeah, that's another conversation why those are two different people, but the rich and the wealthy, people making a lot of money, how about that? One of the things they will do is make their money make them more money, which means they will invest. See, that's the key. You gotta have that mindset. Because one of the problems with the poor and the middle class is their money is basically going out, but not really doing anything for them, not doing anything to make more money. See, they're the bills you have to pay first. Let's get that out the way. Your rent, mortgage, utilities, stuff like that, then basics like food. At least food. At least I hope you're eating. But there's basics. That's the poor. They usually paying their money. Now this isn't ironclad, but just a general thing. They're paying for just the basics of life. They paying for substance. They paying for their basic food, everything. Even if they have government transfers, they only using that money for the basics. Indeed, if they are getting government transfers, they're only supposed to use their money for the basics. They don't have the money like that. They can't make their money. Once they get their money, it generally will go out right away. That's why when you go in poor neighborhoods, you got stores right there to get that money. That's why, as an aside, that's why I'm not that big on people talking about, oh, they don't have money in certain neighborhoods, in poor neighborhoods, but they got tons of businesses there, so apparently they have money, And typically, poor people are not going to save money, typically. Now, that's one, but then you get the middle class, but they will tend, one thing with them, and one of the reasons why you have so many people falling out of the middle class is how they spend their money. So you get some people, they're making a decent amount of money. Instead of like really saving their money or investing, which I'm gonna get into in a few, they usually spending their money on wealth reducing liabilities, such as a car. You'll probably see more luxury cars in a middle class neighborhood than you will in a rich neighborhood, believe it or not. And yeah, the rich, ultra rich will have their fancy cars, but usually they can pay cash for them. And that's only because it's based on their income producing assets. But I'm gonna get into that. But if you really look at the wealth reducing liabilities, think about the middle class. They will spend money on maybe just improving their house. And you could say that, maybe they sell their house later, they can make some money. But let's be real, a lot of them ain't selling their houses. A lot of them are not going to sell their houses. They might get that fancy driveway just because their neighbor got it. Get some boat that they only going to use a little bit of time. That's the thing. And that's the thing. They're going to buy some extra clothes, buy those fancy clothes and stuff so they can look like they got a lot of money. The poor do that too. But they spending money on stuff that's not going to make them money. Like when they buy that car depreciates the second it comes off the lot. Unless you buying like a Rolls Royce or something, or a Lamborghini, some expensive car like that, that's going to depreciate. Basically, they won't be able to sell that luxury car back for the same price. Once they take it off the lot, they can say, well, I'm going to sell it in 6 months. They ain't going to get the same amount of money. That's not an income producing asset. That's not or even if they fix up something around their house that probably didn't need to be fixed. Like I was driving the other day and I saw like around this middle class home. Now it was like a 1-story home and everything. And got this little thing. Okay, not there anymore. Anyway, something was flying around. Anyway, right? Let me see. Let me wipe my hands real quick. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that in too. Anyway, right? It was like a small house, and it wasn't like, it was a house, but it wasn't like some big mini mansion or something like that. They put up a certain wall, and it looked nice, but I'm like, if they don't sell it, what good is that doing? Yeah, it might increase the value of the house, but That's not really income. That just means when they sell the house, they can get a lot of money. And definitely you want to fix up around your house or something, but that's not really income producing asset. They can't rent out that space. With the fixing up, they put this little wall around. That's not making you money. Potentially, but shoot, in today's housing market, maybe not for a long time. See, the thing is, you want to spend your money in income producing assets. Those, like, if you have a business, you want to invest in a business, that's an income producing asset. Stock is income producing assets. Real estate funds, those are income producing assets. And those are basics. I mean, basically put it in a business or something. It could be a laundromat, it could be whatever. Those are income producing assets. When I make these videos, these are income producing assets for me. I'm making money off of videos I did like 7 years ago. It might be a little bit, but it's still making some money. In fact, anybody who's a YouTube content creator, they can look on there and see how much money each video has made for them. Literally. So those are income producing assets for me. You want to put it into a business or something that's going to make money for you. Now, yeah, it's great if it's passive. You might have to do a little bit of work. But say you put it into vending machines. That's something to look into. All you have to do is put the vending machine someplace, make sure you keep it filled, and it's producing money for you. A parking lot, a laundromat, something like that. Something that's going to make money for you. I didn't get that bug. Anyway, right? I said I'll leave it in, but that's how you want to think. You want to think, okay, I got this money. How can it bring me more money? What can I invest in? Even when I talk about savings, what do I say? It's not so much for emergency, but you can also use it to invest. You want to have that mindset of making money. That's the most important thing you want to do. You want to say, okay, I'm getting this money. I got this money. How can I make more money? Maybe if you do buy a house or something, you rent it out. Hey, that's income. You have a lot of people make money off of real estate. Like, yeah, it's one thing to fix up your own house. That tends to be a wealth reducing liability. Unless you plan on selling that house when you fix it up. And then it can make you some income. But another way is to buy some property, putting your money into some property, some rental property. Me, I'm going to be real with you. I'd be very reluctant. Personally, I'd be very reluctant to put it into a home where it has tenants. My grandmother owns some properties and just some bad stuff with it. So, but I would look into a commercial property, commercial real estate, something of that nature. So that's very important. That's very important. You want to look into that. You want to think, okay, I got this money, I got extra money, all my bills are paid, all the requirements, I got the mortgage, everything paid. I don't want to put it into some wealth reducing liability. I'll buy an ordinary car and stuff. You want to put it into an income producing asset. Now, so that's a business, that's something, investing in stock, something like that. When it's making enough money, then you can buy the other stuff. In fact, that's how you want to get. That's what the wealthy do. They really be living off their income producing assets. They don't really be just working. They might not even need to work. And in fact, if you want to work, you want to think, okay, how am I spending my money? All right. So I want y'all to think about all that, okay? And I'm going to get that pesky little thing, bug and everything, all right? So anyway, I'll talk to y'all. Let's go make that money.